What's going on, everybody? We back at it again. Your boy Sir Tokes, your boy Slang Hue. We here live and in color just for you. That's right. That's right. Darkness with a ginger hue. That's right. That's right. And I can't, like I said, I can't do it without
Yeah.
my bro. What's going on, Slang? How you doing today?
I'm just here so I won't get fined. I'm here, man. I'm here, man. I'm
Yeah.
I don't know how I don't know what I am, but I know how I am, and I'm sore. Went through a bad but good.
Mhm.
Bad for today, good for tomorrow.
Right.
Um Leg workout, which I hate legs like
Oof.
most of us men do.
Mm, mm.
And it's sore, so every time I sit down for more than 2 minutes and try to get up, I feel like I'm gonna fall over. But other than that, good. Weather's good over here. 12 degrees. I can't complain. I took the weather back from Winnipeg after I left and brought it back home with me. You know what it is.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear.
It's
On the flip side, it has
the sun.
been up and down. There was a time where it was +9, right? At probably 8 o'clock. By 9 o'clock,
Mhm.
it was -12, and there was a storm, a full on snowstorm.
Snowstorm?
Snowstorm. Again, I went into work, fine. Went into the office, looked outside, snowstorm. I'm like, okay. I stayed in my office. I'm not doing anything outside the office. Come the end of the day, I look outside, bright and sunny, with a temperature of 6 degrees. I'm like, what the hell is going on in Winnipeg right now? Who's pissing off Mother Nature? Oh man, it was
Tundra.
crazy. And I only say it's crazy because again, when it comes to where you've been here, when it gets cold, that road slicks up real quick, right? So when you got
Mm.
cold and then warm and then cold again, all that melted snow or ice, whatever, freezes up, and then you're down for the count. Driving is horrible.
Mm.
We had 3 accidents in that span of the 2 hours that the storm was going on. It was crazy. It was crazy. But again,
Right?
thank God it's getting warmer now. For some, I
Yeah.
mean, it will be about, I think, -3 tomorrow, and then it's gonna
Mhm.
start hitting up. So things are melting. The sand and whatnot that they use is helpful. So we're
That's one
thankful.
thing. As you bring that up, that's one thing I noticed in Winnipeg, and it
Hmm.
was pointed out to me as well, is that they use so much sand and salt. It makes the city look dirty.
Yeah,
Looks like like there's no cement.
yeah. No, you're right.
Just it's almost like a mud town.
Now the thing is though, remember, I mean, Toronto or even Ontario as a whole, they use straight salt though. No, they still do.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
they don't care
And
about
they
the
don't
lifespan
do it as
of your
much.
car.
Oh hell
So
no.
because the cars, they just get eaten by all that salt. They deteriorate faster. So
Absolutely.
that
Yep.
that that
That's a
makes
fact.
that's more business for them, right? So you need a new car because
Hmm.
you're rusting at the bottom. All right, go to the dealership, whatever. That's how it is. Here, they're trying to protect that, so you don't have to buy a car on every other year. So yes, it's
Makes
dirty,
sense.
but the trade-off is you have a car that lasts longer than 3 years.
Longer.
So that's
Makes
that's it.
sense.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, you know what? Winter's almost done. Um, Weather's
Thank the Lord.
most definitely, most definitely. Now, with that being said, though,
Hallelujah.
what is the
Mm.
most exciting thing you're looking forward to when the weather changes?
Warm weather.
Bruh.
I
I
keep
mean,
it simple,
you're not
Sam.
you're not lying. You're
No,
not lying.
honestly, that's the warm weather brings everything else. Like I'm outside more. Um,
Going
I
back to
am.
yeah,
I don't know if I'm saying I'm looking forward to it, but I guess I am. The change up of being out doing outdoor workouts and walking
ah,
outside. Uh, and I just want to. I'll do more. Period.
mm,
More things to do when this weather starts to get better. Like
you'll be more
boat
active.
cruises. It's easier to go out. Day
Mm,
parties, day barbecues. It's easier to do stuff
I feel you. I feel you.
and less clothes to do it.
True, true. So I take
What
it.
about you?
I mean, yeah. I mean, now that I'm in a state of mind where I can actually do things after work, those outdoor
Mm,
workouts, yeah, man. I mean, I'm
mhm.
excited for that. When you started talking, because I've always, every time I was watching your Instagrams or whatnot, I saw the outside workouts, the late night workouts. Like, man, I'm here finishing a 12 or 14-hour shift. I'm just gonna crash, right? And then on my day
Yeah. Yeah.
off, I have to deal with my daughter, right? So I don't really have that spare time now with the change of career and whatnot. Come 4:30, go home, change. I can go take a walk. Like I can go to the park and do
Right.
them pull ups. I can set up a camera like yourself and start doing some chin ups or whatnot, and just enjoy,
Yeah.
things. I need to get
Yeah.
because again, you did a leg workout. My legs are still shot from knee injuries. So
Mhm.
because I
Mhm.
haven't done anything with them, they're very sore and very stiff, and it sucks. And when it comes down to uh, uh, working them out, I'm scared to do so. So now I'm
Mhm.
able to just, take a walk and just get the knees lubricated again. So then I can start being intense again, and then get into better shape. Because that's all it is, really. At this age,
Yeah.
you're just doing things just to get in shape for health reasons, not for looks or anything, just for yourself.
Yeah.
You want,
Just to stay healthy.
yeah, man.
That's
I'm
right.
I'm, I'm not
Two
about
two
the
things
body.
actually. First thing,
Mm.
for your knees, try doing some walking backwards on treadmill at an incline.
For real.
Apparently, that's really good for your knees. Really good.
Walking
Like
backwards on the
I
incline.
on the treadmill for as long as you can. Like you don't have to do no high speed, obviously, because you're going
Right.
backwards.
Right.
But on an incline, not even a high incline either. Try to just walk backwards. It's really good because
Mm.
we don't normally. It's one of those shocking the muscle
Right.
things too, and also engaging other muscles that you
Forcing it to
don't
work.
normally use because we
Right.
don't walk backwards regularly.
You're right.
So our knees don't get that. There's a certain therapy to it for your knees
Mm.
and for your legs overall.
Okay.
That's one thing that I've incorporated in my warm ups,
Right.
especially on leg day, and it's tremendously helped my knees. That's one. Two, as a social observation or as a mind state
Mm-hmm.
observation,
Mm-hmm.
because as you were speaking and you were talking about how when the weather gets better, we get to go outside and do pull-ups and da da da. I was just remembering like that was during pandemic. That wasn't an excuse. I was out there in the winter time doing pull-ups. Ask me if I'm doing that now. I'm not doing that now because I don't have to, but I should.
Yeah.
Because that, like, to be honest, I was probably in much better shape at that
And
point
I,
when I
I
was
will
doing
I will say it was
solid gym.
very motivating, very very inspirational when I saw you pop up the camera and it's just, hey, let's go, we got to get it, and you're there in the sweater
Uh,
and the gloves and the hoodie and you're going. I'm like, you know what, this man's on a
Two
serious tip.
pants,
Yeah.
two
And it's
hoodies, a
wonder
vest.
and you wonder because you did it during the pandemic when there was no option, and now you have the option and you're choosing not to.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying,
I'm
right?
like,
That's
what?
what happens, right? That we get comfortable, right?
So true.
We forget all those things that we learned because we're
It
back in
yeah,
another
yeah.
routine.
We again we've
Sad but
been
true. But
spoiled.
it's on to observe that.
We'll
Uh,
be back in the groove for sure. For sure, we'll be back in the groove.
I thought
But
you were going to
anyways,
say we'll be back in the pandemic for sure. I was
no,
agreeing with that as well.
I mean,
Ah,
don't. Hey, listen, this world is
it wouldn't
crazy right
shock
now.
me.
Yeah, the world
It
is
wouldn't
crazy right
shock
now. Watch because of this whole tariff war. We're not gonna even touch that today. We're
me.
not touching tariffs, but because of the wars
We're
that's going
smart
on,
enough to know when we're ignorant.
yeah, we're not. We're gonna play the blind eye, deaf ear, and just let it pass. We'll come back to it when it's all said and done. So yeah, but we do have a nice show for you guys today. Our topics today, we've got Doechii's red flags, comments that artist. I guess can you say she's an artist,
Mm.
musician, entertainer?
Oh,
What?
yeah, definitely.
Okay,
Rapper,
yes,
singer,
rapper, singer. There you
entertainer.
go. She's there. We have comments that Slang's going to bring up and we're going to talk about. We also got LeBron James versus Stephen A. Smith. LBJ versus SAS.
Mm.
Comments that Stephen A.
Shut up and play, or
Yeah,
don't you talk about my kid.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And then finally, we're going to finish off
Mhm.
with some motivation, yet something that will make you say, "Hmm," with Anthony Mackie
Mm.
talking about
Mm.
success. And I brought it up to Sammy because I'm like, it made me think. I brought up and I talked about it in many different forums and conversations because I'm like, he said some real true stuff. So let's talk about that. Let's start with My man, slang. Let's start us off with what you got going on with that comment, the red
We're gonna
flags.
start with Doechii's red flags. So yeah, so this topic was hot on the internet, of course, where the rapper Doechii, who just won the Grammy, is what some people are saying is an industry plant because she's getting a lot of promo of late. Lauren Hill just brought her out at the show. She's been kind of everywhere in the last few months, maybe to a year. Um, so she's a hot topic. So she was on a show with, I don't know if it was a girlfriend or a friend or just like somebody she collaborates with,
Right?
and they did I don't know if it was a dating questioning, because to be quite honest, I saw a clip, I didn't see the whole thing, so maybe that'll
It
play
look,
a part in our comments.
yeah, yeah,
But what it looked like some type of, you ever see Hot Ones where they're eating the wings and just talking, where they're eating the hot food and
yeah,
talking?
yeah. I've seen that. It also saw. Also looked like it was almost on the same set as those red balloon shows, the white background and them just
Similar to that, yeah,
yeah,
that type of thing too.
but yeah. It was almost like
But
trying to.
so the person interviewing or asking questions, or asked her a question rather,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
asked her what are some of her red flags in dating, and she said straight men.
Bro, let me put a buzzer
That
on
was
this.
her answer.
Let me just.
Straight men was her answer. I'm gonna let you tell me how you feel about that
I'll be glad to.
statement.
Listen, I'm gonna box out slang and take this solo right now. Listen, folks.
Go ahead.
Listen, folks. This is disturbing to hear right now. Okay, you're telling me a red flag in the dating world is straight men. Now, let's go back. This woman's what? How old? Probably 25. Not even. Let's go back 25
Yeah,
years.
somewhere.
Yeah,
I
let's go
would
back
say that
25 years.
mid to young 20s.
Let's go by 25 years and say if your mom, her mom, I should say, my apologies, her mother,
26.
26. So say if her mother said, hey, you know what, the red flags are straight men. Do you think she would exist? No.
Boy, you're going there with it.
Yes, I'm going there. Because again, like, how are you going to tell me that a red flag for dating someone is them being straight? So now you're telling, and again, I am not against your preference, right? If it sounds logical. You know what I'm saying? If someone talks too much, that could be a red flag. Someone eats too much, that could be a red flag. You know what I mean? Someone snores, that could be a red flag. But you're telling me,
No, none of those should be red flags. Those are just as stupid in my mind. But go ahead.
but again, but those are more logical red flags, right?
Mm,
Because some people use the weirdest reasons for red flags, but this one takes the cake. Straight men are a red flag. So you want bisexual, homosexual, or even women to be. So why even talk about it? Why? It
So what
turns
if I
me
was to
off.
say to you that she's not herself straight? Is she currently has a
But
girlfriend? I don't know
okay.
if she's maybe bisexual. I'm gonna go with
But
that.
but but again,
Assuming.
the question was towards her about straight men. Isn't that the question was what's your
The question
dating
was,
red
what's
flags?
her right.
Dating red flags, and you said straight men. Come on, man. Come on.
I mean, I'll tell you my problem with it. It's
Come on.
pretty simple and similar to what you're saying.
Shoot it.
Is that you're if you even date straight, let's say you don't date straight men. Actually, let me go there first. If you don't date straight men and that's why it's a red flag, I don't understand why you mention it, because they asked you in dating red flags. So those aren't people that, straight men are not even people you're interested in dating. Fine, then that's not really a red flag. It's more like not. people you date. Like, I don't know how to explain better than that. I mean, like if somebody's to ask me my red flags, I'm gonna tell you stuff that I don't like in the type of people that I do actually date.
Okay,
So
so
I'm gonna tell you
give us a red flag you have had in the past.
a red flag for me is a woman that is too aggressive.
Hmm,
A red flag for me is a woman that tells me the bad, negative stuff about her family and friends
hmm,
before
okay.
we even really get to know each other. Those are just sign. That's a sign of a negative person to me.
All right.
Um, but just for me to say my red flag is straight women
Wow. So,
doesn't really make sense,
nope. Nope.
right?
Nope.
Which is my second problem with it is generalizing. And again, my issue with this type of stuff is a lot. We all generalize. We'll all
Yeah.
say women. Oh, women, man, you
Yeah.
can't take
Yeah.
women. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll say that stuff.
True.
We don't necessarily really mean it. And I'm even willing to take what she said at tongue in cheek. But if I'm just gonna judge it off of the face value of the words and what she stated, for you to generalize all straight men the same way, I don't feel like you would like us to generalize all women the same. Or somebody I saw made a comment stating, um, "Oh, men, most of these men shouldn't care. She's dark skinned. They wouldn't like her anyway." And I'm like, yeah, but that's exactly
That's
why
what that's
you shouldn't be the one to say something so general, because you hate when a man turns around and generalizes all women of a certain skin shade. There are great dark skinned women out there. There are great straight men out there. I mean, this statement, you know what this statement reminded me of is the who would you rather be in the forest with, the bear
the bear
or
or
a
the
man?
man. That
Yeah.
one even
And
irked me.
and and I even understand that more than this
I
because
don't.
we're not. I'll tell
Again,
you why.
they're
I
equal.
understand it
The
more.
the question or the comment, I believe they're equally dumb. I'll say it right now for
I
everybody.
understand the other one
My
more than
email
this.
address
I do
is
understand it more than this.
okay.
Equally, I understand. I also
Mm,
understand where you're coming from because to
mm.
me there is nonsense in both of them.
Yes.
But the man versus the bear ideal comes from. I understand how that can be based in women's fear or experiences with men in being sexually harassing or sexually abusive,
Hmm.
abusive in general in all types of forms, whereas a bear would not do that. So it's say quote unquote in their mind, especially if they are victims of such actions in their mind, the bear won't necessarily even attack them, where the likelihood in their mind is that a man would.
And
I don't agree, but I understand it.
no, I again,
With
I'll flip it on the other side though. Okay, they said, what would you choose if you were lost in the woods or stranded in the woods? Was that the full comment? Wasn't that it?
something like that. Something
Okay,
like that.
and
They're in the
someone,
woods, just in the woods.
all right, I've heard the question asked, and then someone, I think a man that was asking, so okay, do you know how to build a fire? And a woman says, no, then you're going to die. You think the bear is going to help you build that fire? And again, not to say that the woman
Mhm.
can't build a fire, but most men go on a survival mode and
Yeah,
will
I don't know how to
find a
build a fire,
way.
so I can't come for that with.
What's that?
I'm not going that route
Well,
because
I'm just
I don't know
saying.
how to build a fire,
No,
and
no,
I
no.
can't say
Again,
that there's
but
that many
again, if
guys.
if you were going, if you were there, wouldn't you make the attempt?
Mhm. Yeah, but you can't say the woman would make the attempt.
No,
That's what
I'm
I'm
not
not.
saying.
That's not.
I'm not saying the woman won't, but most
Let
women
me
don't.
make it a little better. Let me make it a
All
little
right,
better.
all
Here's what
right.
I'm overall saying with both comments in general.
Mm,
And I saw a man once say this. The problem with the way that you both are phrased is the idea that most men are dangerous to women or not good to women. That's the idea that is being planted.
the
And for
generalization.
somebody in Doechii's position with influence to say something like that, which is just not true. Most men are not sexual abusers. Most men are not rapists. Most men are not these things that we have all been blamed and painted as. Yes, there are a lot. There are a lot of men that
Mm-hmm.
aren't shit. We are not disagreeing with that. The
Truth.
problem that I have is making it the impression that we are all, or the majority of us are like this.
Yeah.
That's the problem I have
I take
with
offense to
both
it. Yes.
statements.
Yes. If you're not a hardworking or strong-willed man, you should take offense. You should take offense, man. That's digging at your soul right now. I'm a single father who's taking care of his family, not only here but abroad. Right? I have no real bad habits and whatnot. I'm a straight man. So you're now telling me that I'm not fit. I'm not part of not your cup of tea. Okay, why? Because I'm a straight man. That's the only reason.
Yeah, that's the stupid part. I don't care if I'm not your cup of tea,
That's what I'm
Doechii. That's
saying.
fine.
That's fine
But you're putting it out there that straight men
in general.
are a red flag. Straight men across the board are a red flag.
You know, it's
Nah, bro.
that makes me
I'm with it.
just that makes me just
That's stupid.
it just
And I
doesn't
would
make
love
any
to
sense
get
to
I
me.
would love to get the other side of the opinion. I know I, well, I assume. Let me not say I know. See, generalizing right there.
Yeah, yeah. You
Gen-
stop yourself though.
Generalizing is never. It's always a dangerous and not a good practice. That generalization leads to stereotyping, which leads to racism, ageism, genderism, all the other isms.
No, you're right.
That is the slippery slope that we're going down. And I understand why women, or not just women, but why women and people of the oppressed, uh, that are part of the oppressed communities in society,
Mm.
would feel the desire or the need to seek revenge in putting the practices that oppress them onto the oppressors. I get it. That's why
Flipping the script.
I understand. That's why I'm saying I can understand the man versus bear thing. I get it. I get where that mentality could come from.
Okay.
But when we actually examine the logics of this thing, of what you're stating, it isn't very logical. It
You're
isn't
right.
very logical.
You're right.
That's my problem. It's an emotional statement, and emotions are good depending on what you do with them.
Now, again, you're right. She's
But
building off of emotion because there has to be someone that has done her wrong to make her feel that way.
that's what
Multiple
it comes
times,
off
maybe.
as.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
it
it.
comes off as.
Yeah. So you're in your feelings. That's why you're saying the way you're saying. Not because, he chews with his mouth open. No. Not because he sits there and plays video games all day and gives you no attention. No, no. Just before it even gets there, it's because he's a straight man. That
Yeah,
is what you're
that's
saying.
ridiculous.
That
It's
is
ridiculous.
redunculous, bro. Redunculous. That's why I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'll even let the people out there, both men and women, comment on this specific topic. We will have it on TikTok. We will have it on YouTube. I'll throw it on Facebook. I want to hear what people have to say because it does not make sense. Make it make sense, as they say now. Make it make
Make
sense
it make sense.
because I sure don't know how to make sense out of that specific comment. And I think the whole bear versus man analogy that Slang brought to light, I can understand that a little bit more now based on what he's saying.
Mm.
But that whole straight men thing, that's far left for me. I don't get it. I don't get it. So please allow just educate me on why this is said and how it should make sense. But anyways,
Yeah,
we will
please. I
we
would
will
like to know
just
too.
we would just move on here. Our next topic
Mhm.
is LeBron James standing up to Stephen A. Smith with him, well, Stephen A. talking, well, continuously talking about his son, Bronny James, who is playing in I guess it is the G League now, I believe. Is that correct? It is the G League.
Yeah, he's in the G League. Yep.
Yeah, the G League. And he has said what a lot of people have said in the past. He's not good.
Mhm.
He is not good. He's not good enough to play in the NBA. And he has
Mhm.
been dogging Bronny since he came, even before he came in the league. And he states it, hey, I've been saying this since he was in high school. He's an all right high school player. When he was in
Mhm.
college, he was just a college player. He wasn't outstanding, right?
Mhm.
And then he went to the NBA. He's not a very good NBA player. And he stuck by it to the point where now
Mhm.
LeBron saw Stephen A at the Lakers game. Bronny was in attendance, and LeBron beelined it to where he was sitting. And Stephen A stood up, and LeBron was not regular LeBron. He
Mhm.
was he was protective LeBron, and he gave him the Will Smith treatment. Get my son's name out your mouth.
Yo,
He just he
fucking.
he, he just missed the yeah. He just missed the slap. He didn't give him the slap.
Oh,
Fines
I
will be
didn't give him a
happening.
slap.
Lawsuits will be happening. But anyways, now the
Mhm.
question is: was LeBron in the right for going at Stephen A. that way, or did he go?
Mhm.
Did he cross the line, Slang? Did he cross the line?
I think. Well, my question is, what line is there to cross? Did who cross the line? Did
Did
LeBron cross the line, or did Stephen A. cross the
either. We'll take the first part with LeBron,
line? Okay.
with him going up to Stephen A.
Um, I think. I think if you say something in public, it's okay to be addressed. You should be prepared to be addressed in public
Okay.
about that thing. If you're speaking about other people,
Mm-hmm.
yes, it is Stephen A's job to report on sports and what's
Mm-hmm.
happening. That was definitely a relevant story that he had to continuously report on. There is a consensus that LeBron nepotism got his son into the league,
Correct.
which, as you know, I don't have no problem with that.
Right.
Um, is again, I can see where LeBron is coming from, depending on where he's coming from. If he is coming from a space of, as Stephen A said, he approached him as a father, not as a basketball player, not as a teammate. Totally understand why LeBron would feel like he needs to make that step. And I don't believe. Sorry, let me say it like this. He approached it in the way of, don't talk about my son. I don't necessarily believe that's what he was angry about, but I understand how that gets transformed in your mind as to, oh, you're talking about my son. I think he was more upset about Stephen A pleading with him as a father to not put his son through this type of pressure, to be criticized severely because his play is not matching up to expect, which that's a whole. His play is totally matching up to expectations. Let me just put that right in there. People forget that he's number 55. He was picked 55, not in no lottery, not in the top 20, 30, 40. 55. Okay? So,
Mm-hmm.
anyway, that being said, I understand because he's LeBron's son. And I also think this is where LeBron's coming from. Because it's my son, you guys are putting way more on it than you would put on any other 55th pick in the draft ever. Ever. Like Bronny's the first 55th pick that we hear this much about. Unless he had a breakout. Unless that person had a breakout play, we don't hear nothing about the fact that we don't hear nothing about the 20th pick 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, you're right.
So that way I understand why LeBron would be like, yo, stop picking on my boy. But I look at it as like, stop picking on us,
The
which
family.
makes it more understandable for me why he did it, but less excusable. Right? More understandable because I'm a dad. I'm going to try to protect my kid. I'm going to try to shield him from criticism or bad or negative rhetoric surrounding his name. That part I understand. The part I can't excuse is you have been the face of the league since almost you got into the league. You know what it's like. You know that this is what you should have known. This is what your son was going to go through. Whether he was as good as Wemby or he's as good as he is now, they were going to kill him regardless. It would have been less if he was Wemby, but they would still be saying you're not as good as your dad. This is just how it is for second generation. Only few people escape that, like Steph Curry, because he is way better than his dad ever was. But if you're not that, you're gonna be like you're not as good as your dad. Your dad used to do this. Your dad used to do that. Look at all the Tim Hardaway juniors, all the juniors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gary Payton the third. That's what
Yeah.
they go through. You're
Yeah.
not as good as your dad, and it's worse than the guys without the same names because we don't know these modes. We don't
Yeah.
have the same. We don't have a blueprint for what it should look like. So anyway, that was long-winded, but to say my basic point is, I think both of them stepped over a line, which is relative, but in my opinion, they stepped over a line. I think Stephen A. could have eased up on the pleading with LeBron about his son or questioning him as a father. That's what Stephen A. really kind of did, is question him as a father, which then makes it personal. It's not so much about sports anymore. And I think LeBron could have approached him, even though Stephen A. made these comments publicly. He has all right to deal with it publicly. I think as a professional, as a man that's 22 years in the game and knows how this thing goes, you could have took him aside, set up a meeting with him, anything. Because Stephen A. said if they did that, he would have went. If that were true, that's something that I think LeBron should have did. But it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if Stephen A. reports on this at all, whether it's in the back room, whether it's in front of people, there are the haters of LeBron who are always going to say whatever you do is Jordan would have never did that, Kobe would have never did that, blah blah blah, not knowing that Jordan and Kobe did that, just not in public. So yeah, I think both of them are over the line, um, and both of them have valid reasons for stepping close to or across that line. What say you, sir?
You know what? You've enlightened me again, as you usually do. However, Stephen A. is Stephen A. for a reason. His job is not only to report, but he puts that Stephen A. oomph on it, right? Again, this goes back to when he was with Skip Bayless. Skip is a Jordan man, right? Skip is a Jordan man, right? So every time we talk LeBron and LBJ, everybody gets heated. Same with Shannon. Again, he's an LBJ, so he's gonna be extra. He's gonna have the views because of how he presents it, right?
Entertainment.
It's entertainment. So if he knows that the hot topic or the best player in the world has some type of kink in his armor, he's going to attack it. That's his job. He's going to attack it and make everybody say, "Hey, look what he said. Look what he said. Do you hear what he said?" That's his job. That's how he gets ratings. That's how he gets views. That's how he gets paid. That's his job. So, at that aspect, kudos for Stephen A. for being relevant again. That's all it was. Him being relevant, right? Him being relevant. Now, on the flip side, what he said was true. LeBron put way too much pressure on his son coming into the league. Not because of who he is. I mean, whether he was drafted to the Lakers or not, they're always going to compare you to Dad, the probably greatest specimen that has ever been drafted into the league. It's gonna. But again, LeBron should have been ready. Should have been telling his boy, "Hey, they're gonna come at you. They're gonna come at you. Be ready." You know what? Bronny should have said, "Yeah, I can handle it." No, be ready. Even when I'm not there, you got to be ready. He had to ready him up, but he didn't. He didn't because Bronny. I don't think Bronny has said anything.
Well, we
about
can't
it.
say that. We can't say that's what I. That's exactly why.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
if we could say that he's
Fair
not
enough.
ready.
Fair enough. Now.
And he has been balling in the G League.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying. But again, it's the G League, right? So let him develop.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He has
Yep.
time to be great. So that's
Yep.
where I was saying that.
Yep.
Hey, Stephen A. Don't worry about this man. Let him, play the way he wants to play and see if he can be great. This is not even finished of year one. And you're already giving him he's never going to. No, there's people who develop over time, man. Everybody's not going to be Kobe. Everybody's not going to be Shaq. There's guys who've been in the league for years that have championships because they got there. I mean, Draymond Green, he's got championships. He was never great when he got in. He got better. Rodman, right? Guys who were never the main guy still contributed to championship teams. Hell, even Steve Kerr, the coach who has won multiple championships, as a player was a role player. He did his dirt. He did what he needed to do to help the team. Not just the one player, the team win games. So that's why I think Stephen A. was wrong. You're already crucifying this boy. He hasn't even finished the damn year one. That's sad. Mm-hmm. That's sad. But again, that's his job. Now,
it's understandable.
Talking about LeBron's side of things, again, me being a father, I would have done the exact same damn thing. Not gonna lie.
This is what I want to ask everybody.
Yeah.
Like
not gonna lie.
I get the soccer mom, the hockey dad, going too far thing. Mm-hmm. I do get that too. Mm-hmm. Within the game. So it's different if you're cussing out referees or the owner of the team that your son or kid is on or officials in the game.
You're right.
But to approach a reporter for constantly talking negative about your child, I don't think is outside of the realm of, depending on how you do it, of course. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Kevin Durant's mom has approached Stephen A. before.
Yeah.
Other parents have approached Stephen A. before. It just wasn't on camera. I think that's where LeBron could have did it better.
And this
and not on camera, but there's, you see a man, you get hot, and you approach him.
Yeah. And this is the flip side of things. That's why I said, you know what? I said I would have done the same thing. However, I would have done it behind closed doors, man. You are the face of the league. No, let me phrase. You are the face of basketball. This is not just an NBA thing, because you are world known. People in China, Japan, Australia, they have your poster up there. And they praise you in every different language. Because not only because you're the best player there, but how you carry yourself. Because his way he carries himself is spot on. He has been carrying himself as a gentleman, as a role model, everything. You see the videos of him, and you see the philanthropy that he's been doing, the school stuff that he's done. He is a great individual, right? Great individual. So for you to just, almost like the soccer mom taking off the earrings, ready to go off at the ref in public, bro, you went from here to here real quick, man. You had if the option to take it to take it private was there, I would have took it. And you could have yelled, screamed, throw chairs, whatever. No one else needs to know that. You keep your stuff private, and then you're good to go, man. Now, all of a sudden, you have people like us talking about you. Not talking about you, the player, but you, the person. Oh, this guy's soft. He can't take criticism, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, he's been criticized. He's been criticized his whole career compared to greats. And he took it on the chin, like, hey, you know what? Blah, 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 blah. I'm okay, whatever. And he's proven it. He's won championships. He doesn't say much about it, but he does it. Now all of a sudden you stoop down and go at this level, man. People are gonna say, "Yo, are you that soft, bro? Are you that soft? Come on, man. It's just Stephen." Everyone's gonna say, "Yo, it's just Stephen A, man." Has he ever been on the court before to know, bro? Have you seen him shoot? Come on, bro. That's soft talk. Soft talk. So that's where I mean,
right. I know. I agree with that. But again, in both situations, there's a responsibility there. There's an influence there.
Yes.
That you have and you can place on the people watching you that admire you. Both need to take that in consideration when they're making statements or with the actions that they're making.
Again, it's
That's
not
how
like
I feel about that.
And like I said, it's not like he hasn't heard worse. Right?
Exactly.
He's been compared to the
and
greatest.
He's been successful regardless.
Yes. On how many levels? High school, championships, multiple MVPs. Come on, man.
Most points ever.
Yeah, you have all the points. Bro, this is why I'm like, I question him, like, and the way he screw faced him, like, yo, if I saw you in the parking lot, I don't know, I would have fought you. That's type of vibe I saw, man. Come on.
Yeah, it was a bullying.
Yeah,
which also
man.
I think was unnecessary. You didn't really need to. I want to stop short of calling it bullying, but it looked like it was a bullying.
He stood right over him.
I don't think you needed to do
right over him in the front row.
I didn't like it. And everybody knows I'm a LeBron guy. I'm a LeBron fan. Number 2 all time. Which is also another thing. I don't understand why we can't like both, or why when somebody bigs up LeBron, somebody has to bring up Jordan, or vice versa. You big up Jordan, somebody has to bring up LeBron. Well, it's a rivalry and all that, but damn, man. I think Jordan is the GOAT, but LeBron is a great number 2. But here, I think you made a ill-advised move, in my opinion.
Yeah, moving soft there, bro.
A little bit.
Moving soft. But again, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I fully understand. I would have done the same, but on a different level. That's all I'm saying. Because again, I can't fault a man. Yeah, you're talking crap about my kid. Yo, on any other type of platform, I would have stood up to the next person same way. And again, if it went to the point, because again, this is not the first time. It is a consecutive amount that has been building and building and building and building to a point where this guy could have just punched him in his face. But
like
I said, true LeBron.
You're gonna take it like a champ.
Yeah, true LeBron kind of stood back and said, you know what? I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm not hearing anything. This is what I'm going to say. And then he walked away. I get it. I get it. Different. I think the atmosphere was just not the right atmosphere for that to be happening. It should have been behind closed doors.
That's where I agree.
But now here's the thing. Do you think the criticism would still be there at that level for LeBron and Bronny if Bronny was drafted to another team? Because I think that's why
not as much. I don't. Right. Again, if he was playing great, I also still wouldn't think it'd be as much. But there would still be criticism. They're still gonna say, like, even in the scenario you're painting, they would still say he shouldn't be in the league, regardless of the team. Oh, his dad got him there. Regardless, it made it worse that he's on the same team as his dad, but it also, on the other side, made it special because they were the first to ever do that.
Yes, and that's why.
That's why I think he did that way. Listen again, man. Listen. Fandom makes people forget that these are human beings. Okay, and yes, LeBron has money. Bronny even has money from his NIL deals. Yes.
Yeah.
But these guys, that doesn't mean that they don't want more. They don't want to continue, and they don't
True.
want to create a bigger legacy. I saw Ice Cube's son in an interview in which he was saying, um, I don't having my dad's name doesn't give me pressure. It makes me want to add to the legacy. It's like a king having a prince, and the prince is coming up. His dad is the king. His dad has his kingdom. His dad has his dynasty. But as he's growing up as the prince to take the throne, he also has to leave his footprint
Yeah.
and add on to make it bigger than it is.
Yeah.
So that when they say Osei Jackson Jr.
Yep.
also did this, his father gave him this, but he did this with it
Yep.
and made it bigger.
Yep.
So we sit here as people in everyday jobs, forgetting what everyday jobs feel like,
Yep.
everyday lives feel like.
Yep.
If you have, I'll even put it in a real world situation. My dad got me a summer job, at his work. I
Mhm.
didn't have to do an interview. I didn't have to do nothing.
Right.
I just had to be in school,
Right.
and I got the job for the summer, making more money than most kids make because most kids are working at McDonald's or Walmart or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Walmart wasn't around them times.
I
Whatever,
hear you saying, yeah,
Kmart,
Woolco,
whatever. You know what I'm
whatever, Zellers or whatever.
talking. Woolco and these people, Woolworth,
Mm.
the Bay, which is going out of business too. So I got paid more money. Now, are the other kids in my school supposed to look at me like, oh, if it wasn't for your dad, you wouldn't get that? Sure, they can, but that's what you're supposed to do. If your kid wants to play basketball in the NBA and you are in the NBA and you can make it happen regardless of your kid being good enough or not, you could save me with the bullshit about that's that's insulting the game. Hey, get the fuck out of here. And we're trying to get mans play the game for fun and money. And if you could do both, why not do it? And the only line that I could say that Bronny skipped 100%, I'm not saying that he didn't skip any lines, because
Mm.
I agree nepotism played a part. But the only line he kind of skipped is um, playing in his first game in the NBA as a 55th pick so early. Most 55th picks won't even get that chance, not even for a bad team.
But,
And
but
the
that's
Lakers are good.
but the thing is that was a plan from day one.
Right.
They invited Ken Griffey Jr. and Senior to the game to take a picture. When have they ever been to a
Right.
game, bro?
Who knows?
No,
That's
just
I
I
understand your
know what
point
I'm saying. They
in
made it a
that
big
way.
deal because it's history, and I get it. They
Yes.
took the
Yeah.
time to make it a big deal, and it is a big deal for sure.
Yes, it is a big deal. So
So
did he I don't think the problem I think the difference is people think LeBron abused his power. I don't. I think
no,
he
no,
used his
no, he
that's
used
all.
it. I would have done the same.
He used his power. Yeah, if I was that powerful, what did I do all of this for? What
Dion
did I
Deion
if I
Sanders
can't
did the
get my
same
kid a
thing.
job in the league?
No, you're right. Deion Sanders did the same thing with his kid. He went from Jackson State and he brought his kid to Colorado because he got the job. So hey, he told everybody, "Oh, you better hit the portal. These boys are coming in and they're starting." You're going to say no to the father who was the coach, the head coach, whether
And
it's
it turned out Shedeur was good enough.
exactly. That's
But
the bonus.
what if he wasn't? It
Well,
would be the same argument.
exactly, exactly. We would be in the same conversation that we're talking with LBJ with his son and Saunders with his. So I get it. But again,
Know.
you use all the tactics you can to expand your legacy and plant the seed for greatness. That's all he did. He planted the seed. He might
Sorry,
retire in 3 years, Bronny, but he can go do
but it's
something else.
whatever he wants.
Yeah,
He got to
you.
play in the league.
I mean, he went to school for not for
Like
school. Did he go? Did he really
like
go
I
to?
was
Where did he go? Did he go to USC?
USC,
Yeah,
USC for
he
1 year.
played 1 year.
But yeah, 1 year. And it's equivalent to me. It's equivalent in the real world of your dad. Your dad is a manager at said whatever company,
Mm-hmm.
and he gets you a job as a general um um worker in the
Yeah,
warehouse. He's up in the office, you're in the warehouse. Because Bronny still has to work his way through the office.
correct. Bottom
First
floor.
day on the job, he got to be in the office with his dad and do some shadowing for that job, but he's not getting that job right away. He actually has to prove himself to
Perfect
get that
analogy.
job.
Perfect analogy. That's right. He shouted at him from day one, like any child would see. Hey, Dad, look at all. Yeah. All right, now go back to where you need to do some work to get to this spot.
Lift some
So
bucks. Go lift
again,
some bucks.
great analogy, man. Shout out to Flan with that analogy, bro. Shout out.
But people are upset that he even got him the job in the warehouse.
Nah, you
Hey
can't
man,
be. You
I
can't.
and
Because
I get it. As a fan of basketball, we want to believe that the business is not a part of the game so much, but it's always been a part of the game. This is
well,
not new.
it's not.
The game is the game,
And
in
and
and off, on and off the court.
and that actually kind of segues to the last topic, Anthony Mackie
Ah,
and his comments
yes,
about
yes, yes.
success. For those again who don't know, Anthony Mackie is the it factor right now. He's the man that is being interviewed, talked about, doing memes about, doing TikToks. He is happy to be where he is right now, right?
He's the
And
guy. Yeah.
there was an interview he was doing on the Pivot podcast that was featuring Fred Jackson. Um, what's his name there? See, well,
Get all of their names.
Ryan Clark, yes,
Ryan
all those
Clark.
guys,
Yeah, I don't remember the guy.
and he spoke some nuggets and some truth, and the one that kind of caught my eye is that he was claiming about his success recently, and
Mhm.
and he stated, you know what, he's been in the game for 24 years, and he said in those 24 years he has two kids, I believe it's two kids, and he says, you know what, we've been playing these kids, we've been teaching, we've been going about it the wrong way, because for years they say, hey, read your book, do your homework, be good, and you'll definitely get the success you deserve. Again, he said you deserve. And he said that's all BS. Because
Mm.
really and truly, it's a flip of the coin. It's almost like luck that you get success. They chose you just because, right? Because there's going to be someone who's right beside you who is just as good or better that doesn't get picked. And he pointed to the guys there and said, hey, Fred, there's the guys who probably ran faster, jumped higher, caught better balls than you. So, but you got picked. You were the one that got drafted, right? So sometimes, well, not even sometimes, majority of the time, it's just timing.
Success is not earned; it's given.
It's not earned; it is given. That,
Mm.
and I believe that 100%.
So you agree with it fully?
I
That
agree
statement.
with it. I agree with it
Okay.
because again, there's people who have not finished high school who are CEOs of companies who are
Mm-hmm.
making millions,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't do the hard work. Meanwhile, people who've been going to school, doing the hard work, going that extra mile, getting that doctorate or whatever, and they're ending up doing manual labor somewhere else just because they can't get the break. It happens. My dad went to
Okay.
school. He did it all.
Yep.
And all of
Yep.
a sudden, he's driving cab for 30 plus odd years. Meanwhile, he's smarter than most guys at that time when he came in mechanical engineering. But he didn't get the pound on the back. Yes, again, it's a different time, but same thing though. Same thing. Timing is
Mhm.
everything, man. Timing is everything. So, I mean, what say you, brother? What do you say about this?
I think it's somewhat refreshing to hear somebody that we deem to be successful saying something like that. It is something that I've thought that our generation, or perhaps the generation before us, kind of um, served us a falsehood
Mm,
that all you have to do is work hard and the hard work pays off.
mm,
Um, I I believe what he's saying to be true to an extent. I think there is a mixture of hard work and luck, depending on what you deem success to be. Now, if we're talking, let's make some celebrity comparisons. If I'm saying Drake, for example, isn't luck, I'd be lying. There's a lot of luck involved there, but there's also the being prepared for that luck to come, right?
Mm.
So, like stay ready so you don't have to be ready.
Yep. Yep.
Sorry, stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Yep.
There's that's the theory that I'm referring to. Like, yeah, we can say, well, that guy just got it. He just got it. That's not fully the case because he also has to be ready for it. Yes, there are guys that ran faster than um Deion Sanders probably, or guys who ran faster than uh, Usain Bolt at one point, but those guys probably didn't work as hard as him either
True.
because they already had the speed. So I think both things play a part. What the percentages of those things, I don't know. But for somebody of his caliber, Anthony Mackie's caliber, to be making that statement, I can agree that talent is not everything. Talent isn't everything, and work ethic also isn't everything.
Mm.
Because if you're with your head down, just working, 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 and not applying certain methods to that work. For example, like I can make beats 24/7, 365.
Yep.
But if I never put those beats on YouTube, or I don't give them to rappers, or I
Yep.
don't post them anywhere, how's anybody gonna ever know that I'm good at
Yep.
what I do?
Yep.
And I can be great if I'm doing that much work.
Yep.
I should be great by doing that much work. But if I'm not marketing or promoting myself like that, and I think in every sector of what we would deem success, you have that factor. Like if you're working in an office, you could work your ass off and
Mm.
hope the manager sees it, or you could figure out a way to bring bring attention to yourself so that they see you, because you could just be a number to them of guys who work hard.
Yeah.
Why do you stand out? Did you go out at lunch? Did you smooth with the manager? Did you tell him you liked his tie today? And I hate all this stuff that I'm talking about, but it's realities.
Yeah.
Social aspect of work or careers or success is important in almost every industry,
This is true.
especially into sports and entertainment.
This is true. Now,
Especially sports entertainment.
though,
Mhm.
there's as much as I said, luck is pretty much the reason some people have success. Some people get that luck, but they need the skill to develop it the way it should be. And again, a perfect example, you brought up Drake. Okay, Drake, big name. All right, and he said things, did things, whatever, and then someone, Kendrick, fell upon some words and whatnot, and he used his skills to make it something. It was now luck that it blew up the way it was. So he had the
And he
skill
was ready.
yeah, exactly. He was ready. He
Uh,
said, you know what? I know how much skill I have. Again, he might not be better than guys like Biggie, Pac, Jay Z, but he took that opportunity and he turned it into something amazing. That's why timing is everything. Timing is everything.
yes, yes,
If it
yes,
wasn't
yes.
for
And
that, he would not get the Grammy that he got. He would not be performing at the Super Bowl. He would not be where he is because of that timing.
and again, that it's good comparison
Mm,
because people will say Drake was an industry plant because he had the machine behind him. What do you think is pushing Kendrick? The
facts.
same machine.
Yeah, yeah,
It just so happens their images are different,
yeah,
but it's the same machine pushing and marketing them in both cases, and it's because they are both talented
Yep.
and they were whatever rooms they were got able to get into to rub shoulders with the people that they needed to get them to these
Yep.
big platforms. They did it, and they did that almost, if not just as well as they rap.
Facts.
And again, that applies to almost every industry.
It's pure
So
facts.
yeah, I agree with them. I just, I think, I think where parents or older generations failed, this current generation, is that you could be whatever you want without telling them you got to figure out how to be whatever you want.
Mm.
It's not enough to tell you to just have the dream.
Right.
You got to figure out how to make the dream reality. And
Yeah.
that's where I felt like that's what he was saying to a degree. Like, yeah, it's cool and everything. It's cool and everything to believe in yourself. You're supposed
Mm-hmm.
to believe in yourself,
Yep.
but you have to apply the application. Oh, sorry, long-winded again, but you know
No.
me.
No.
I had this conversation with Devin the other day on our
Yep.
trip to uh,
Tank
Winnipeg when
City.
our flight
Yeah.
was delayed. But anyway, and she was saying, I asked her a question: if you were ever to have kids, what would you want? What was one of the things that you would want to instill in them the most? Like you would want to hammer into them as a life lesson, something to govern their life, one thing. And she said she would like to give them um, the audacity of confidence, basically. So make them so confident that they believe that nothing can stop them from getting to where they want to get to.
Mm.
And I said, that's great. I said, you know what? I like that, but what I would like to add to that
Mm-hmm.
is the reality of you're good enough as you are, which is sometimes still not good enough. Meaning that you go in a room with supreme confidence that you're gonna get that position. But if you don't get that position, find out why you didn't get it and go and get that thing that stopped you here.
Mm.
So if it's because you didn't have a certain grade in this class, or it's because you needed another you need an AZ license to drive that truck, or
Mm-hmm.
you need more acting lessons,
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
you didn't run fast enough, or you didn't jump high enough. Get back in the gym, get back into class, get back into your books, whatever it is, because confidence comes from being prepared more than anything. So have that audacity in you that I'm going to get this job, but it's because you're prepared. And if
Mm.
you happen to miss the mark, also have the ability to bounce back, say to yourself, I'm still good enough, but I'm going to get better.
True. 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 Remember, my dad, who's again all about African proverbs and sayings and whatnot, and the one to this day that sticks with me, he goes to me, "Work while you work, play while you play, to be
Mm,
useful and happy. This is the way." And I'm like, that's all
mm,
about timing, bro. Like I realize now,
mhm,
sitting here just thinking about it. Yeah, man. You work the right way and the right time, and you play the right time. That means you. It's all about organizing yourself because that opportunity might happen, whether you're playing,
mhm.
whether you're working. If you sort it out properly, you'll get the look. Like you have to make yourself
Exactly.
available by doing what you need to do at the right time to get the freaking success. That's
Exactly.
all. You can't be sitting at home, like you said, you're making beats and just making beats and making beats and making beats. And then you're like, all right, I'm good. And you just put it in your storage drive and just let it sit there. No one's gonna see that. Now if you
Nobody's going to
now
care because they
now
never
if
know.
yeah, now if you go a beat, then you throw them out on there. Okay. It's like fishing. You throw it out. Who's gonna catch that? Then you go back, beat, throw it out again. Again, they might not hit. There's going to be one that's going to, but you're not going to get it unless you put it out there. So again,
Simple.
timing is everything. But at the same time, that timing has to be collaborated with effort.
Hmm.
Put that effort, have the timing, get success. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it could be minimum effort. Like I said, you can be taking a walk, right? You can do an audition just because you can help a woman who fell down in a store, and they thank you so much that they go give you a job somewhere or whatever. Like again, you gotta put yourself in the right spot to get the notice that you're looking for. That's the way of life now. I don't believe the whole hard
That's
work and keep on grinding and grinding and grinding. No, man. There's people
yeah,
who don't
nah,
have
bro,
the
man.
education that some of us old folks have. And again, because of the day and age, you have these influencers or you have the TikTokers and whatnot. Half of them are 15, 16, 17 years old, and they're making triple the amount of money we're making. Not because they're smarter than us, not because they can do it better. It's just timing, man. Just timing.
Mm-hmm.
So again, be smart about it. Work smarter, not harder, man. That's pretty much what he's saying, yo. Just
Yep.
be available. Be out there. Put yourself out there.
Yep. Put
So
yourself out there.
exactly.
Risk.
That's it. Take the
Yes,
risk.
sir.
Because
Mm-hmm.
eventually something's gonna hit. It may not hit the way you want it, but something's gonna hit. I can be a perfect example. I changed careers. I'm making six figures in one
Mm-hmm.
job. Took a break. I wasn't happy. Changed it up, and I'm having the time of my life right now in this job.
We haven't. We
So I'm
haven't.
like, damn, where was
And
this?
that's what I mean by success is relative. It depends on what you. And some of us
Facts.
think success is money.
Monetary, yeah.
It's not
Some of them is a
monetary
job
success. You
title.
can
Yeah.
have that and still not feel. Some of it's job title, exactly. You could be a
Mm-hmm.
doctor and still not feel.
This is true.
Success is happiness, and happiness is totally relative.
Yep. You can
So
be.
find your version of success.
Yep. I mean, there was a video I saw. I think it was a UPS driver. Yeah, and he was deaf, and a young child started signing to him. He felt so happy, bro. And he
Oh yeah,
felt
because
elated that this young girl knew that he was deaf and signed him, have a good day or whatever. He was elated, man. That's
right,
success for him. He has a job
right,
that probably pays him not even what I'm being paid, but he enjoys it and he
right,
made it work.
right,
And he was happy
right.
about that. That's his success.
E.
That's his happiness.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
fault him
yeah.
for that, bro.
E.
Can't fault him for that. So yeah, man, just be
Mhm,
smart about
mhm.
what you're doing when you're doing it. Because again, your time will come. You just have to put yourself in the spot where that chess piece can go, hey, checkmate. I'm in. I'm good.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So man, that's it,
Mhm.
man. That's it. That's
Yes,
all,
sir.
folks, man. Another
Another
great
one in the
show.
books.
Your boy Slang Hugh. Your boy Sir Tokes. We are on
Mm.
Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok, Instagram. You can find us on Twitter. You
Africa.
name it, we're here. All right. So again, a great show as always, and we'll do it again soon. Peace and love. We out. Peace.
Peace. I'm gonna call my mama.